Let's start Pashas Tetzaveh, Tafshin Pedalet. Let's start the beginning of the Parsha, the Psukim. It's a very, very strong basis to the Shir on Shabbos. And without this one, I don't think you don't understand anything on Shabbos. It's going to be a waste of time for me and for you. So let's try to understand calmly, what's going on here in the Psukim. The Parsha starts, Ve'ata Tetzaveh. Many times in the Torah, Tzaveh Saron Bezbanav Leimor, Koise Baruch Hu Es Bnei Yisrael. Talk in a direct language. Ve'ata Tetzaveh is grammatical. First of all, Ata is a pronoun, so it's you. But the taf in Tetzaveh, it's conjunction stating already the you. So you can't say you order. Tell me what you want. Daber b'nei Yisrael, tzaves b'nei Yisrael, v'amat olem eska b'nei lachmi leishar reach nichoichim. What is the problem? HaKadosh Baruch Hu couldn't say to Moshe Rabbeinu, tzav, order. No, it has to be ve'ata tetzaveh, and it's not going to be the only time. We're going to have it 3 times in a row. But before I get there, so what do they have to do? Oh, ve'yikhu eilecha. When you say, when we were last week in Parshas Truma, HaKadosh Baruch Hu said the Truma is for me. Ve'yikhu li teruma. Oh, now for shemen, for the oil, for the to kindle the menorah, it's ve'eilecha? No, if there's something that's really for Hashem and has no external or side profit or benefit to the person, is the oil. The oil is only to light the menorah. The menorah is to bring light to the shulchan and to the Aron HaKodesh, but definitely not to go, have a light in the heichal and start doing things to the light of the menorah. Just the same way you can't do it with the light of the menorah on Hanukkah during the first hour. You cannot draw any benefit from it. You cannot draw any benefit from the light of the menorah. For sure, of course you can. So what is ve'yikhu lecha? And now you got to be serious, because the shemen has to be zayis zach kasis lamaor leha'alois ner tamid. Has to be whatever we're going to see the process later. There's a process how to prepare the oil for the menorah. And all this is so one light will light constantly. The Ner Amaravi, what we call the Western light of the menorah, which was the center one. We call it Ner Amaravi. And it has, what about the others? So you didn't need Shamel Amor? You have 7 Neres. You talk to me about only one Ner. We're talking about the menorah here. Only one Ner. That's the reason you want to do all this only for that Ner? What are you telling me? Now, ve'ata hakrei, and you bring close to you. Eilecha. No, it's to Hashem. The Kohen Gadol is close to the Chochmah up there. It's to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Why again this Eilecha coming back? Esara and Achicha ve'ezbanav. I don't want to go deeper in this pasuk than this ve'ata hakrei, because I want to focus on one thing. From there, we're going to unveil all the pshatim in the psukim. The third time it says, Ve'ata tedaber, and you shall speak. Daber al bnei Yisrael, we say it all the time. Daber Hashem al Moshe lemo daber bnei Yisrael b'kfei lehecha para aduma temima. In Parshas Truma, what's going on here? That again, the pasuk feels the need to add the word ve'ata at the beginning with double pronoun because te is you from ata. El kol chachmelei. All these, it's not intelligence because intelligence is in the head. It's people that have intelligence in the heart, bina. We'll see what it is later also. Asher milesi, that I filled up. Ruach chokhmah, spirit of chokhmah. Don't you have a problem here? We're talking about the subject is plural. Chachmelei. Asher milesim, you should have a mem at the. How is the verb? You're talking with a subject which is plural, and you give me a verb conjugated in singular. Mileisiv. Makes no sense. What is this Ruach Chochmah? We know what Ruach Eloikim we learn. So we understand that Ruach Chochmah, the Ruach of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, I know what it is. We said it's the Neshama of the Mashiach, Ruach Eloikim Meracheh Pesach Ne'amayim, you know, we proved it in the Gematrias and so forth. But Ruach Chochmah, the only time you're going to see that word is by Mashiach. V'nacha alav Ruach Hashem, look at a little bit at the bottom here. V'nacha alav Ruach Hashem, Ruach Chochmah Ubina. I didn't write the whole passage. So so the Mashiach will have Ruach Chochmah. What is Ruach Chochmah doing in the Mishkan? If that's the midah of the Mashiach, what? All these people that they were crafting all the tools and the kelim of the Mishkan, they're all Mashiach. HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave them the same spirit as Mashiach. So indeed they had the power of a Mashiach. What is HaKadosh Baruch Hu telling us here in the Psukim? Mileisiv Ruach Chochmah. Here it says Venacha. It will land on him. It will be shored. But here you say Mileisiv. I filled him up. This is even more than the Mashiach, to be honest. Because to fill up, there's no more room. I fill up everything possible with the Ruach Chochmah. And what they're going to do with it? Oh, big day Aaron, the Kadshoy Dechanel. The cloth of Aaron to sanctify him so he can be serving HaKadosh Baruch. I don't know, but it's a little bit disheartening. You know, we see here tremendous questions. Language that don't make sense. Directions that are completely the wrong direction. Ve'ikruli, Tzva Hashem. What is Eilecha to you? What is Akta Krev Eilecha? The Kohanim are not serving Moshe Rabbeinu, they're serving HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Lekadesho Eilecha Hanoi Li. Me. Not you. So on every angle we see, we have tremendous questions. So let's go into it now and try to understand step by step. The Ata has to be explained what it means, because this is not a very common language, and I'm not going to be able to go further than explaining the Ve'ata, the Mileisiv. I don't think we'll have more time to go, because then you can ask questions from different Ve'ata in the Torah. and come and see why this doesn't match the pshat we're going to give, and go deeper than that. So we're going to go deep enough. So I think today it's enough. We're going to have a pshat, so we're going to satisfy ourselves with that. And Bez Hashem, when you all move to Florida and you come for Shabbos and share, then you will see the real colors. We see the oil, the other oil that was used in the Mishkan was the oil that was with which we were anointing the kelim and the Kohen. A melech in Israel, Shmuel, when he saw Shaul, he poured a little bit of oil on his head. On David, he poured a bit of oil because this is the Shemen HaMishcha. The psukim we have read exclusively speak about the Shemen HaMaor, the oil that's going to be used to kindle the Menorah. In Parshas Kisisa, there it speaks about Shemen HaMishcha. And we're going to see the huge world between these two oils, which both have an importance and both are in the Mishkan, but tremendous, tremendous differences. The Gemara in Yuma says that all the kelim that Moshe built at the time in the Mishkan, the way they received the Kedusha is because they were anointed with the Shemen HaMishcha. So the Kohen Gadol Aaron, so his children, they received Shemen HaMishcha. And how much Shemen HaMishcha Moshe did? The only one who ever done Shemen HaMishcha in the whole world is Moshe Rabbeinu. Whatever Moshe did is what remained for all the generations, as the Gemara says in Menachos, that Yeshua HaMelech, he's the one who took it and he hid it. And after, a Kohen Gadol would become Kohen Gadol, and this is how the Rambam paskens, by wearing the 8 cloth of the Kohen Gadol. A melech would become a melech also, not by Shemen HaMishcha, because there was no Shemen HaMishcha, by the avodah of the melech. The avodah was mekadesh the person, but not anymore the Shemen HaMishcha. So we see, I'm not going to go into Shemen HaMishcha. I just want to use it as a step ladder to start kicking in the shear, and show the Shemen HaMaor is something way beyond our comprehension. Way beyond. I don't even know if Shabbos, I'm going to explain the side, but Shemen HaMishcha is something to the highest possible level. The shoresh in the keser on top there, in its place. The same way we have in the head, we have the skull. We have inside the skull, we have a brain. Inside and around the brain, there's a little bit of airspace. And then we have a krum. In English, a krum is
membrane.
Membrane. Thank you very much. A little membrane around the thing. So there are really 3 keser. When we say keser, there's 3 levels of keser. First the skull, then the moyach, then the Avir. I don't want to go into this, but the side of the Kehuna is right up there. When you know your ways between the Keser, you know exactly where it stays, and you know exactly why Moshe Rabbeinu didn't become Kohen Gadol. He was Kohen Gadol only for the days of the inauguration of the Mishkan, but he did not remain to be the Kohen Gadol, and neither his children have inherited his greatness. On the other hand, Aaron deserved to be the Kohen Gadol, and his children to be Kohen after him. That's also, I'm going to leave Bez Hashem for Shabbos, but you can see already a lot of movement here, a lot of movement. And we have to try to put some order to understand. Is it a punishment? Is it a reward? Then Aaron is punished. So anyway, there's a lot of movement in these little parts that we have touched. The Sefer HaChinuch, explaining the mitzvahs, he brings from the Sifri that the reason that we used to oint the Kohen Gadol or the Melech, the king of Israel, it's because when someone goes up to greatness, you have to make, I don't want to say a gesture because it's not considered a gesture, but an act to mark it. In other words, what he's telling us is hiding in his words. When someone goes up to greatness, we want him to lead. We want him to succeed. So what do? We have to attach him to Shemen on top, because Shemen is Chochmah. So we have to create the tzaddikim, who, whoever was anointed, the Navi, has to create a path that connects him to the upper Chochmah, so he will become wise in order to deal with the Bnei Israel. Because it's not simple. Intelligence in books or in anything is not the intelligence when a person is under pressure and is under, firing squad, bulleting at him. He doesn't have time to answer this one. This problem comes up. This. You kind of under duress. At that time, if you're not attached to the Chochmah, the upper Chochmah, you're incapable of responding right to these people. Like Reb Chaim Kanievsky, so many people, and each one approaches him and expects him to understand exactly what he has in his mind. Wasn't he not attached to the Chochmah Elyoina, he would have never understood. And this is how you recognize a true Gadol, is when they're attached to the upper Chochmah. Now the Gemara, let's go understand now our Shemen Lamar. The Shemen that we had to bring. So the Gemara in Melaches tells us that there are 3 harvests in an olive tree. You have the olive trees on top of the trees which are exposed to the sun, which ripe faster. You take those olives, you put them, 3 in case you know that word too. The machtesh where they used to crush with a pillar, I forgot what it's called in English. I learned it with my son. It's so many times.
Pestle.
Huh?
A pestle.
A pestle. Okay. And so you have to take the olives, so it's small quantities, and you have to heat them like this, and then put them into a net and let the oil drip. Whatever oil drips first, right away you take it away. That little bit, this is for the Menorah. The second and third oil is to bring the menachas, meaning the offerings. But it doesn't say Shemen HaMishcha. Shemen HaMishcha could have been done just the last oil. So the very, very first oil that comes out of the olives is the oil required for the menorah. So it's a very harsh process. It's long. That's why the Chashmonaim, the nace of Hanukkah was 8 days, because it takes 8 days to make the new oil. Because every time you bring and you heat, it's a tiny little bit of oil that comes out. And then, come on, new olives, boom, boom. And a little bit of oil and a little bit of oil. So it's a tough process. What is the soil in this? Why? The second oil doesn't burn exactly as the first oil? Or the third oil like the first oil? You want to tell me that the first oil is brighter? I put you to the challenge on this. And see, when you have an olive, okay, I'm going to start hitting them a few times and you're going to see it's probably not measurable. If there is any difference, it's not measurable. What is this requirement? What is this requirement that HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells Moshe Rabbeinu, a tough language, Tetzaveh, you have to order. Don't play games here. We trust you. Bnei Asher, because the best olives were in the land of Asher, in the Galil, so they had to be responsible about this. I understand the Menorah is very holy. After the Aron HaKodesh, I have the Menorah. And you will see this on Shabbos. I'm going to challenge this. But you had the Menorah. But the Menorah is not the Aron HaKodesh. And the Menorah, okay, had to bring the upper light. So is the second oil, which is still the first, I mean, these are brand new olives. The proof is that afterward, we can put them into the grinder and grind them, and the oil, that comes out is good for Shemen HaMishcha, is good for a lot of things in the Mishkan, but not for the Menorah. Not allowed to grind them. Okay, so now we have exposed the problem before us here. Ve'ata tetzaveh as Bnei Yisrael. Ve'ata tetzaveh, we know the problem. As Bnei Yisrael, I have no problem. Ve'yikchu eilecha, we know the problem. Shemen zayis zach. Here we go right now. We exposed it with the explanation of the Gemara. What the soil in this oil, that I need to go through a hardship in order to do it the way the Torah required. So now we're going to take back from the beginning of the pasuk and explain the whole thing, and explain, as Hashem have enough time, the 3 psukim. Rabbi Chia starts and explains that what's ve'ata? He says, I love it. And I explain it on Shabbos because we have more time, so it's easier to explain a notion. Like we said last week, what ma is the Malchus. Every time we find it different names to the Malchus. So explain, every time the Zohar says this is the Malchus, means it's like you have a day, but the day is attached to a month, and a month to a year, and a year to a cycle, and so forth. So the Malchus, depending, so you have, someone asked you the date, today it's the 21st of the month. It's Wednesday the 21st, and you say, That's it. There's no other thing. No, there is a month and there is a year. Because otherwise you don't guide me to the point. You don't tell me where you're standing. Also the Malchus, depending, it's like the moon going around the sun. Depending on its location, the location has a name. And this name indicates where it is. When it's close to the Chachma, it's called Ma. When it's all the way down, restarting the cycle, it's Aretz, earth. So say the Zohar, Ata, here is the name of the Malchus. Where is it? Okay, wait. But here, if you look in the Ramak, in Pardes Rimonim, you see that Ata, it says clearly, it's the Malchus, like no doubt. So let me explain you something, and you will understand. Ata, these are the three letters that are on the forehead of a tzaddik. Every person has, and he can know where he's good or not. If he closes his eyes, some letters he cannot see. You cannot see those letters. No matter what you do, look in front of you or the letter. Some letters, you just look a second, boom, I close my eyes, I see it. Some letters, you can go up and down, you won't see them. You can't bring them from this world and raise them. Because in these letters, you have created a pgam. You have done something that has affected those letters, and those letters don't shine for you anymore. Therefore, you can see them in your mind. This is very true when you do the Kavanas of Kriya Shema. This tells you exactly where you're standing. And because you see the letters and you know, and these are important letters. So when the Malach comes, when a person comes, especially after his body, his external cloth has been removed and he goes to Shemaim, and the Malach sees the word Atar, right away tells him, you to the right, Gan Eden. So some people will have the Aleph missing a Yud, some people will have the bottom Yud, some people is the Yud of the Hey. So right away the Malach knows exactly what these guys do. There's nothing to invent here. Everything is very clear. So when the Malchus is connected to the tzaddik. Who is the tzaddik? The Yesod, Yosef HaTzaddik. When the Malchus is connected to the Yesod, it's called Ata. That's why when someone kept the Kedushas Abris, has right away Ata on the forehead. And if Chas v'Shalom, these letters are not there, you know exactly why. And this is what Yisro told Moshe Rabbeinu. He told him, Ve'ata secheze. And the Ata, you will see. I'm going to teach you how to read the Ata. And look at the Zerah, Parshas Yisro there. Teaching the whole thing about how to read it on the face. And this is what Yisro, you see now that what I'm telling you is based. So when the Zohar tells you Be'ata, you have to have a little bit of knowledge to understand that it's coming from a background when the Shechina is facing the Yichud with a Tzaddik. Kudsha berichu ushchinte, they're together. And the proof is Vav always represents HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Kudsha berichu. So we know that Ve'ata is HaKadosh Baruch Hu and the Shechina. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu says to Moshe Rabbeinu, Ve'ata, you have, that's the word of Rabbi Chia, you have to take the Shechina with you in order that you will elevate her so she will be ready for the yichud with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I'm going to explain my words. I don't want to leave people with questions here and not understanding. You will see in the Torah, it never says this word lehadlik, to light. The only time we say lehadlik is lehadlik ner Chanukah. In the Torah, it's always the word elevation used for kindling the nearest of the menorah. When you're going to raise the neros, meaning you're going to take the malchus that's called the ner. Oh, the malchus has another name, ner. Yeah, I'll explain it later if I have time. Time is rushing every time I give share. Yeah, and you have to raise. The whole purpose of kindling the menorah is only to create a union between Kudsha Baruch Hu and the Shekhinah. And then, the same way as when someone gets married, he has children, the same way when Kudsha Baruch Hu and the Shekhinah are in union, there is a shefa. There is a consequence, and the consequence is bracha. The upper bracha is coming down and showering us like the dew of techiyah, of life, of rebirth, of everything. Then a person can change and be totally someone else. You have to know how to press the button and get the tal techiyah, the especially on Sukkot with the lulav and esrog on the hand, and then we do. Can't explain this now. I'm going to go after. I'm not going to tell you the core of the thing. The Rabbi Yitzchak comes and say, no, that's not the pshat in the pasuk. Even though it makes a lot of sense what Rabbi Chia said. No, that's not the pshat of the pasuk. Ve'ata is not the Shekhinah. He says, Ve'ata is the yichud. In other words, they both agree that the whole purpose of the menorah is to raise the Shekhinah to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, so there's a union. However, where is the obligation of Moshe Rabbeinu to do something? Is it on the Shekhinah itself or on the Yichud itself? And I would explain. Is Moshe Rabbeinu responsible for unifying HaKadosh Baruch Hu and the Shekhinah, or Moshe Rabbeinu is only responsible to raise the Shekhinah to the Heichal of Kodesh Kodashim, the chamber of called Kodesh Kodashim on top, and then he's done with his job. Kodesh Baruch Hu will take it from there. So this is more or less the discussion we have between Rabbi Chia and Rabbi Yitzchak. I'm not going to emphasize on these machlokes because Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai will come and change everything and give us a path. Rabbi Elazar, the son of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, says, it's true what you're saying, but you're learning it from the wrong place. Remember, we had a problem in this, it's the second pasuk in what I showed you, which is the third pasuk of the parasha. Asher mileisiv ruach chokma. He says, this language, ruach chokma, this tells me that the Shekhinah was shining upon them. It's not possible for avadim that are not craftsmen. They never learned anything about making kelim like this, perfect kelim with fire, not having a factory in the midbar. They don't even have what to create with. And what they will do is the craftsmanship will surpass. The Gemara brings down when they wanted to build a second Beis Hamikdash, they brought Ezra brought because they didn't want to do it. They were too expensive. They brought craftsmen from Alexandria. This guy didn't know what to do. Even bring up the Oshan, the smoke of the on the Mizbeach straight, they could not do. And these were experts. And there's a family in Bnei Israel, they know exactly how to take the herbs, how much, and what mixture exactly to put it on the Mizbeach. And even if there was a hurricane, the Oshan would stay straight above the Mizbeach, never go crooked. So we see that in the whole Mishkan, in the whole Beis HaMikdash, it doesn't work by the laws of physics or anything of this world. It's in a different space on its own. And this has to be done by Jews. The melacha. What do you call it, the melacha? It's a very hard work to work in the furnace, to try to melt the gold and make a shape and make the kiyar. The kiyar was so hard, so many pieces, so many, and the menorah. So what do you call it a melacha? Because they didn't have to go through those steps. Why? Because they had Ruach Chochmah. What is Ruach Chochmah? It knows that everything in this world depends on letters. When you say Kli, Chaf, Lamed, Yud, if you would know how to use those letters, or we should take a better example, Kiyor. If you would take those letters of Kiyor, you would know how to make the Kiyor. And the Kiyor will become by itself as a Kiyor, not requiring a lot of work, because all you have to do is how to understand how these letters, because every name that the Torah gave to everything, we talk about a dog, a kelev. How was the kelev created? With 3 letters, Chaf, Lamed, Beis. A para with 3 letters, Pei, Resh, Hey. Why? Well, in Parshas Chukas, I'll tell you a little bit more about this. And so everything was done with, so he says the Ruach Chochmah, this is the Shechina. Don't learn it from Ve'ata. Yes, you're right. Ve'ata is the Shechina, and as we explained before, it swirls like a days in the month, through the month of the year. But here, it is from Ruach Chochmah. Then, on Rabbi Elazar, we asked the question that we started with the shir with. Great. What are they? All Mashiachim? We don't have enough Mashiachim. We have now every Chacham Lev is a Mashiach. So what is this Ruach Chochmah utvuna? Tvuna all right, I have to tell you this. Like everything, Bina has 10 spheres. First 4, then 3 in the middle, Chesed, Gvura, Tiferes, then 3 at the bottom, Netzach, Hoid, Yesod. So when we refer to the last 3 at the bottom, we call it Tvuna. Tvuna are basically the feet of the being. So when he says Ruach Chochmah Tvuna, we know exactly which place it's coming from, the Chochmah that they got in the heart. So they got a Chochmah up there, that's Ruach Chochmah, but they got another Chochmah which went into their heart, and this is not only from the Midas, Netzach, Hoid, Yesod. And there's a reason, we don't need to explain this. So on Rabbi Elazar, it's not explainable. Comes in Reb Shimon and tells his son, you're wrong. That's not the pshat. He says, my son, like this, he tells him, look at the pasuk. It says mileisiv in singular. And we're talking in plural about the Chachmelei. And he says, from there, when you say Chachmelei, Leiv is also called the Shekhinah. When is the Lev, or when is the Shekhinah called Leiv? When it faces the Bina. Because the Bina has 32 ways, the 32 Elohim going from this world up. So when the Shekhinah is going up to the Bina, right away it receives also the 32 ways. So when we say Lev, it doesn't mean really hard. It means you can connect yourself directly to up there and get the influx, full influx. All the highways are fully open, and you know exactly what to do and how to create just with letters. By thinking about letters, automatically, like, I know for you in concept, it must be a bit difficult to understand, but look at the Maharal Prague in the 1700s, 18th century. He created a Goylem, the Vilna Gaon, 18th century. Before he was Bar Mitzvah, he created many Goylem. How do you create a Goylem? We know how to create a Goylem today. It's written down. You know, certain hours, you take some mud, you put it around, and you go around the thing, and every time you go around, you're thinking of certain letters, and all of a sudden, you see the earth burning up, a fire comes and burning up, it becomes red, and it burns so much that then it becomes flesh. What have you done? Have you turned earth into flesh? No. You've done a akafa, and every akafa you have, you know, certain thing in your mind, and you do have to say something, but mostly what does it is this, and then all of a sudden, by itself, earth becomes a furnace, this little bump, and makes a shape of a body. And what you say is in order to bring a nefesh from outside. But anyway, you see that the letters of the Torah has a tremendous power, tremendous power. We'll go much deeper than this during the Shir on Shabbos, because we're going to review these at tremendous depth. And I never gave a Shir like this, probably I'm still double guessing myself if I'm going to give the second, I don't know, but I'm very inclined, because this will push people to start learning and understanding that chokhmah that we have before our eyes, that are letters. These letters has punctuation. These then become words. These words have tropes on top, under. Why is this trop like this? Why is this trop like this? Why some punctuation at the bottom, some are in the middle, some are at the top? You know, nothing was done in the Torah without a reason which mind-blowing, and understand on which word I can do something. Why is the Sefer Torah has no punctuation? Why is the Sefer Torah has no tropes? Okay, so we're starting to see that there's a lot behind it. So all this is the Chokhmah, and this is how the Ariyah Kodesh starts Etz Chaim and the Oitzro Etz Chaim. This is the first shah what we start with. This is fundamental, because this gives an outlook on the prior world that HaKadosh Baruch Hu created before our world. And now we understand how our world came up to be, and where our world is working, and what do we do, and where is the way when I need to get out of here. It's getting too hot for me here. You know, I need to get out. You know, what is the path? How do I go out? Oh, you never went away. You're still here. No, you see me here, but I'm not here. All right, so now we understand here the Ruach Chokhmah, so mileisim. I feel them. So says Reb Shimon Bar Yochai that since it's written in singular, that's where we learn that we are not talking about as we asked before, that the subject is the Chachmelei. No, it's not the Chachmelei, the subject. The subject is the Shechina Ve'ata. That's the Ve'ata, that's Milesi, that you have to fill up. Meaning you have to connect yourself to the Keser all the way on top with Kavanas. Draw the Or Haganus, the Or Ein Sof, all the way down and attach it to the Shechina. Then you will be able to make a Mishkan, you will be able to make the Kelim, because this is the Shechina. The Mishkan, we said before, and the Beit HaMikdash didn't work with physical laws. Why? Because this is a marker of the Shechina. You can't expect to bring a vessel to the Shechina that's made in our world, that's made by a goy, that's made with the laws of physics. It won't fly. It wouldn't be able to be on the fire in the Mizbeach. It will melt. It will disappear. It will be swallowed to earth. You have to be able to make vessels that look like vessels as we see them with the eyes. But the truth is, there's only letters in these vessels. And this is what? So with the light, the Or Ein Sof that has all the knowledge, you brought it down to the Shechina, and the Shechina went and taught the Chachmei Lev, guided them in order to understand how to build the Mishkan. And now, says Reb Shimon Bar Yochai, now, since you drew the Ein Sof to the Shechina, even to teach her, now you put them together. Then there will be a Yichud. Not like Reb Chia said, not like Rabbi Yitzchak said, not like Rabbi Elazar said. The purpose, what Moshe Rabbeinu was ordered to do, was to draw the Or Haganus, in order to bring the upper knowledge how to create a Mishkan, because HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to come to reside in that Mishkan also. So it has to be a place suitable also for HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and this can only be done with the Or Haganus. So everything had to be attached, not to what we discuss every week, to the next world, Olam HaYetzirah, Olam HaBeriah. This has to be Atzilus. This has to be on the top. And you have to bring that knowledge, Neisrol, even the Gan Eden Elyon. The upper Gan Eden is only in Olam HaBeriah. So how can living people, and that without a body, only the neshamas. So how can living creatures attach themselves to the Olam HaAtzilus? It's impossible. Therefore, Moshe was required to go up, since he went there for the Torah, and draw all the lights and all the knowledge through the letters, how to create, every vessel and the Mishkan, and make it a suitable place for the union of HaKadosh Baruch Hu with the Shekhinah down here. That's the Now, this is a lot of theory. I'm very practical. If we take here, Chochmah Tvuna that they needed, this equals to 542. This equals to Yisrael plus 1. Show you that when Israel is connected to the Aleph, This teaches us something tremendous. It's not only the Chachmei Lev, it's not a one-time deal that the Chachmei Lev could connect themselves to the Chochmah and the Tvuna and be able to do. I almost want to use for you to understand the word magical. You know, magical stuff that cannot be done in this world. Yeah, put Yisrael with the Aleph. You know, you try to get the Yud Vav, and you understand. Now, how did Moshe Rabbeinu we have to understand, and I think I will have time to explain this. How did Moshe Rabbeinu wrote it down? You know, it's a great thing to say, hey, Moshe Rabbeinu, go to Shamayim and bring me down the Aragonos. Anyone out there, you know, listening to such a thing says these guys are either fools or they, you know, they believe in whatever. But in the Torah, there's no such a thing as something that has no path, that has no way, that we can see the way, we can know. There's a chokhmah, there's a das. And we can know. And there's different depth in the understanding. You can know in general, like when you look at a map and you have an overview, you have to drive from here to New York, you have an overview of your, but you still understand that you're going north, but not all the time north. Sometimes the road is 95 is going to move right or left, or, you know, north or south, depending on what is going around and so forth. So you have a tremendous understanding where is New York here abstractly. And that's what we have. It's possible. It says in the Pasuk, Shira Ma'alois, Esa Ena Yele Harim, I will raise my eyes to the mountains being the forefathers. Me'ayin Yavoy Ezri. If I'm translating the Pasuk says, from where will come my help? I always want to say, this is when I start the shift. Now, look at this. A person, they had Ruach Chochmah, the Chachmei Lev, to build the Mishkan. Okay, we have a Ruach Chochmah. Ruach Chochmah, why do I use gematria? Because it enables me to change all the letters and understand what's behind those letters. Me'ayin Yavoy Ezri. Ezer Yud, my help from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Why? Because the others saw that we sinned. They don't want to help us. So I have no other way. I have to be able to reach HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But how do I reach HaKadosh Baruch Hu? May ayin. Only from Moshe Rabbeinu. What? May ayin Moshe Rabbeinu? Yes. Moshe Rabbeinu is still the shepherd. Remember? It says here, May ayin in the Pasuk. Let me give you the punctuation. It's an important yesod this. May ayin. Now let's take Moshe in full. Mem shin mem shin hey. If I'm taking the inner letters that I've added, only the inner letters. What do you have? Moshe. This is, it equals Michael. But when Moshe is around, Malach Michael can do nothing. Because Moshe has the power of Malach Michael. So Moshe Rabbeinu is me'ayin. I have to go. So Shemaras Esaena Yeleharim. When I raise my eyes to the mountains, the forefather that called mountains, and I cannot get help, I cannot get through the merits, I only have another solution. Is me'ayin, from Moshe Rabbeinu, Yavoi Ezri. What do I have to do? We'll see exactly why Ezri is Ruach Chochmah. It's not just a letter. It's not just a word that I'm throwing here to tell you that, oh, we'll understand exactly why and which shemesh that do we get through this. Now I'm with Moshe. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells Moshe Rabbeinu, go up and do your magics on Ve'ata. Okay, I can give you the punctuation here. Ve'ata mechaye as kulam, says the Gemara. Ve'ata means when HaKadosh Baruch Hu and the Shekhinah are together, mechaye. Everyone. Just for the sake of it, if I take what is the soid here, like this, you understand what I told you before. Mechai equals 63. Equals the name of the Bina. Yud, He, Vav. When I tell you Lev, it's when the Malchus, the Shechina is connected to the Bina. This is when Ve'ata Mechaye, then you bring down through the Bina. Okay, so here we have Ezri. I need my help. I'm in it, Sarah Chad B'Sham. I'm in it, I have it, Sarah. I need HaKadosh Baruch Hu to answer me. I need him to do something. So now, I have to go through Moshe Rabbeinu. Any one of you knows the address where I can reach him or where I can go talk to him? Tell me about my Tzara. I need some help. You know how to do it? Moshe Rabbeinu is long gone, right? Wrong. Ve'ata equals 412. Equals the upper muzzle of the Bnei Yisrael, Noitzer Ches. I don't deserve, I know that. Otherwise, HaKadosh Baruch Hu would not put me in a situation like this. So, still, I cannot keep on staying in this tzara. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you don't deserve a chesed. Why is Bnei Yisrael attached to the 13 midas, the midah of Noitzer Chesed? Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu knew that we're not going to behave all the time properly and so forth. So we don't have ingrained some chasadim that could be tapped on, like someone who has a saving account. There's no saving. So we need to create instantly a new chesed. That's by Moshe Rabbeinu. When they did the Egel, right before our parasha, even though he comes in the parasha after, it was before the Begadim, it was before building the Mishkan. They needed to do it. They fell back down to the level of Mitzrayim. How did they raise themselves up to create? We say the Goy cannot create the vessels that goes into the Beis Hamikdash. These people have done what they've done. How is it possible that they are capable of doing the Mishkan? So we have to create, we need Moshe Rabbeinu, we have to create a new chesed. This is what we know so far. And we know that it has to be done in a certain manner that I need to be able to reach Moshe Rabbeinu. I have to become, the Pasuk hints me, if you want to be on that path, you have to be Ve'ata tedaber el kol chachmele. You will speak to all that are chachmele. If I'm a chachmele, Moshe Rabbeinu will speak to me. What do I have to do? If you take Chachmele equals 110 equals Yud, Hey, Vav, Hey, Aleph, Dalet, Nun, Yud. Making the yichud of the full name of Hashem in Olam HaYetzirah, like in Kriya Shema, with Aleph, Dalet, Nun, Yud, which are the Kavanas in creation. In other words, you are who you are, you have done what you have done, but you want to regenerate yourself. You want to come up and say, enough is enough. But I don't have time to wait for a long time tshuva. I don't want to fast. I don't want to, I'm beating myself up enough already that, I want to be able to leave. What do I have to do? I need Moshe Rabbeinu. Remember that we learned last week, because I'm going to go a tiny bit deeper. We learned that the 3 meters that were required for the Mishkan was Emes and Chesed, which were equals to 889, which were equal to Mishkan or Edus. Okay, that's exactly how I ended up the shir last week. So we have to remember these 3 meters. And that's why the people that are not, the sin, they're not emes, they're into sheker, they misbehave with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, they're not into chesed, they want into gvura. When a person doesn't want to tell HaKadosh, when you tell HaKadosh Baruch Hu lead, automatically puts you in the chesed, meaning you trust HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That shows emunah, that shows bitachon. When you say, I know what to do and everything, so I mean, you want to take the matters in your own hands. Oh, I'm going to go to college, I'm going to learn this, and I'm going to become this. Oh, that's gvura. You want to take the gvura in your hand. That's stupid. Because then HaKadosh Baruch Hu will move backward. And when you're going to want to access HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you're going to have a hard time. Now, if we say that the very word that we had a problem with, milesiv, don't worry, I'm going to tie you all this up into one sentence at the end. You won't have to remember all this. What is the milesiv? 47. Why the Bnei Yisrael didn't deserve to have directly their heart filled with knowledge directly from the Or Ein Sof? Because they fell down. Therefore, we needed the Shekhinah. The Or Ein Sof could only inform the Shekhinah, and the Shekhinah would inform the Bnei Yisrael. How? By raising them. Raising them how? Dusha and Chesed. We are Bnei Yisrael. We not what we have done. We are what we do. In other words, what I have done, I have done. It's not like the Goim says what I have done, and I cannot correct it. Wrong. What I do is who I am, but not what I have done. In other words, with what I do, I can undo what I've done. The Shekhinah is the one, the mother of the babies called the Bnei Yisrael. And at that point, in order to create the Mishkan, they needed to go back on a pedestal of getting the midah of Kedusha of the Bnei Yisrael and Chesed. Because if there's no Chesed, there's no Kelim in the Beis HaMikdash. And that's what the Or Ein Sof was all the way down. Now, you understand already why we're talking only on one ner. Ner tamid. We're going to explain the Shemen Zayit stuff, but the ner, because here we're only talking about the effect of the Shekhinah. We're not talking about lighting the menorah, kindling the menorah. We're talking about the effect of everything Moshe Rabbeinu will have to do to the Shekhinah in order to raise the Bnei Israel. Because if he raises the Shekhinah takes with them up the Bnei Israel. And this is how they got Kedusha and Chesed. That's why we have here the Ner Tamid is this Milesiv here. And if you are a Chachmelev, you are connecting yourself. You decide now, enough of the darkness. I want to live in the light. You become a Chacham Lev at that point. At that point, you are connected to the Me'ayin of Moshe Rabbeinu. You becoming a holy vessel because the Shekhinah gives you at that time Kedusha and Chesed. This is not, that doesn't add up with what I've done in the past. Again, what you do now defines even what you have done because it undoes what you have done in the past. It's never too late. It's every time is the moment. Hayoim. Every time we say in the pasuk, Hayoim im tishma b'koili, if you listen to my voice, you do the mitzvahs, automatically your whole life becomes who you are now. But the truth, I was someone else before. No, this doesn't exist anymore. This is being undone by now. That's the milesi. That's the ner tamid. The proof is, and I'm going to prove it every way possible. So we say the lev is the Shekhinah, right? We're going to write it in full. Lamed base. I'm only going to take the inside to see what's in this heart. Can someone put the word together?
Hamid.
Sorry?
Hamid.
Very good, Menachem. What do we have here? Ner Hamid. Hamid is the inside, the lev of the Shekhinah. When we say the ner, it's always the same midah, but the Torah doesn't want us to see it. You know, it's a hidden secret. And why? It's very simple. Because we're going to see that we're going to go to Ve'ata Mechayes Kulam. I'm going to explain you this in a second. So we have this word, Tamid, equals 454. Now, if you take the word Yad in full, Yud, Dal. You see how with the lev, you filled up the lev with the Chachma of the Shekhinah. Automatically, you have it here, it's Tamid, 454, and you are not the Yad in simple, the Yad in full, meaning you're creating without even having to really make a avoida, work. You're only doing a task, melacha. It's so simple because you know how to assemble the letters. Now, with the kotel 450, when we say tamid or yad, you know, whatever, with the kotel equals 455, which is all the name of the bina. Okay, you guys have the pages already. So the Keye with Yud, the Keye with Aleph, and the Keye with Hayes. The three of them equals 455. And that's how then Ve'ata Mechayes. Now you can bring back life. Which life? Because so far you were attached to the Eitz Hadas, Toiv Vara. Now you attach to the Eitz Chaim. That's why now, where is it? Ruach Chochmah. I said Ezri. Where is it? Oh, here. And I can add something. Toiv Ra. Why do I need help? I need help when I'm attached to the Eitz Hadas Toiv Ra, and sometimes I do good, sometimes I do bad. But now I want to be attached to the Eitz Chaim. I want Ruach Chochmah. Ruach Chochmah undoes this. This is the Ezer Yud. Now you understand, meaning to help me. I cannot go on myself, leave the Eitz Hadas Toiv Ra, and go to the Eitz Chaim. I need help. How do I get my help? Moshe Rabbeinu. How is Moshe Rabbeinu bringing it down? Milesi. Dusha Chesed. Why? Because we say the Lev, the Shechina is going up through the Tamid and get the name. But now, take this. Lev in full equal Milesiv. When Hashem Bar Yochai tells you something, the Milesiv goes to the Lev. Here it is. Same exact gematria. He brought Kedusha and Chesed. He brought back life. And I'm going to put a final note to this because you will understand why all this through the Shem and Zayis. What is that secret of the Shem and Zayis? Let me clear the page a little bit. So let me take it with a. I'm going to take the whole thing.
Sean, you have two different gematria. You have the same word adding up to two different gematrias of the Lamed Bayits.
Lamed base, Levin full, yes.
Lamed base. I mean, yeah. One place you have it's 454, and the other place you got
No. The colors, only the inside, the milui, only the milui, the one colored in red, equal 454. But if you add 454 plus 486, 487 with the color.
Right. Okay, got it. Sorry.
Yeah, okay. So now if we take Shem and Zayis equals 807, you're gonna see nothing here. Nothing here is done lightly. It's all gonna swivel around the Yich. Now we know that Yud Ke Vav Ke Aleph Dalet Nun Yud equals Amen equals Malach equals Sukkah equals Nari. Okay? Now we know we learned many times that if we expand them, we do so, we put more insight into it. This equals 716, exactly like Nachash. This is the name that destroys both Nechash. Now, if you add them together, equals 807, Shem and Zayis. In order to arrive to Shem and Zayis, when HaKadosh Baruch Hu ordered Moshe Rabbeinu, he told him to bring down the Yichud in simple, but in expoundables, through the Shem and Zayis. How he's going to do it, it's going to be revealed also in if you take it, now this one expounded, it's called the Milui of the Milui, feeling the feeling. So the Yud is Yud Vav Dalet. The Hey is Hey Aleph, that the Kavanas of the Kaddish. And this equals a number, 2,720. Which equals to exactly the Birkas Kohanim. As the Midrash said, Moshe, you cannot be a Kohen, you're much higher than that. Because you the enabler, you connect them to the upper Kesser. You know how to make the super yichud that gonna create everything. The whole Birkas Kohanim comes after Moshe. The bracha, you understand now why the Kohen benches and where it's coming, the benching? From this name, Yud Ke Vav Ke Aleph Dal Dalet Nun Yud, in full. This is what it is. Now, if we take, and I finish on this, there are many more Shemes here, like from the 72 names of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, how things are working. You know, it's not something I can give you now here. No, it's already past the time. This equals this, and this is the side of the Shem. What is the Shemen? Is the enabler to reconnect me to HaKadosh Baruch Hu because I got disconnected. Why I got disconnected? Because of my deeds. So now I need to be reconnected through Moshe Rabbeinu. So Moshe Rabbeinu is going to do his kavanas, bring up the Or Ensoif, and why do I tell you all the time there are organos and I don't prove it to you? I don't understand. If you take Shemen Zayisach, pure oil, everything I told you is in the words. I cannot, you know, it's time consuming to every time prove it. It's 3 times Or Haganos, because he has to bring it from Atzilus to Olam Aberia, to Olam Ayetzira, and to Olam Asiya, to our world. And this is what he has. So this is the Oragonos that he has to bring, and this is why the Shemen has to reflect, to be so pure that the Oragonos could go inside that Shemen. And then that Shemen is Chochmah. You will project light, which is going to give you Ruach Chochmah. Automatically, you're going to be able to change, and yourself get Kedusha and Chesed. And how? Shemen Zayizah Kasi Islamoyer. This equals to 1118 plus 1358. You should know these numbers by heart at that time. 1118, 1118 is Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. 1358 equals Baruch Shem Kevod Malchus Le'ilom. This is the Yichud. Now you understand in 2 words, in 1 line, what is the importance? We say Kriya Shema. Huh. Yeah, there's nothing, you know, we are not, it doesn't seem so, twice a day and everything. You understand what it does? It can make who you are today and undo what you've been, but not in a way that I still have a connection to who I was. No. You have zero connection at all. You're a different being. Why? Because the nearest of the upper Menorah are shining on you. And, you know, on Shabbos in the Shabbos Hashem, I'll be able to go into why today there's no Menorah. So how do we do all this? Because now it seems to be impressive. So you understand already that through the Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad, the oil of the upper Menorah is coming right on you and shine. Now you can decide to be who you want to be. If you go through Shema Yisrael and you swallow it and you didn't say every name and you don't even think about Yud Ke Vav Ke Hashem, Yud Elokeinu, Hey, Hashem, Vav, Echad, Hey. To make it Echad with the Aleph Dalet Nun Yud, you are who you were. You are not who you can be. Baruch Adonai le'olam, amen ve'amen.